everybody. We are live back in the studio today, and we're so glad you could join us. You know, this is I think it's like really for us, Earlene, I think this is the end of fair season because we just finished the state fair. Timely enough to get some more results in to see who from our county fair went forward. And then patch that in with we've wrapped up the fair review, and it's going to go out next week.
It sure is.
It's time to subscribe, guys.
It is. Because you want that fair review. You know, sometimes I think if I had a choice and I could only save one of the two, I would save the fair review over the fair catalog. The fair catalog.
Really?
Yeah. Well,
I got it. If your name's in the paper. Yeah.
What's going to happen. But the fair review tells you what you did.
Well, don't tell our readers that.
Well, I think you should get both.
Because you do get both. If you're a subscriber, you get them both. And you don't have to go track them down all over the place to get them.
But there's this thing now about not keeping things over and over and over. So, you know, if you bring one thing in the house, you should take something out.
Oh, yes. I'm getting ready to do that as we speak.
Yeah, we don't want to be hoarders.
You need to talk to my wife.
Yeah. Come on now, Sheriff. Hey, we got a special guest in studio today. As the title reaps, we have Sheriff Wimpee, and it is not a reaping thing to have him in the studio. We're actually excited today because we're going to talk about something that I know is very personal to Sheriff Wimpee, and that is Tucker Phillip Wimpee, and how we honor that and him today and what it does for our community. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely excited. Earlene, I know this has been coming. It's like our trigger for we know we're in September and the cooler temperatures are coming in. So I'm excited. What do you take us there?
Well, we're getting ready to have the burrs. September, October, November, December. You know, I was telling the guys in the office earlier today when I was teaching, those 4 months were always active. And they are for us in the newspaper business as well. Because there's so much that goes on between September and the end of the year.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that we look forward to each year is Tucker Day.
Yes.
And so Tucker Day actually evolved and became a thing to be during my years away from Meade County. And then when I came back, and my first year back here, 2019, I was like, wow, you know, this is kind of a cool thing. So I want to talk a little bit about it. So one of the reasons why I want to talk about it is I've casually mentioned Tucker Day off and on for the past couple of years, and most people are very aware of what it is. But Meade County is growing. You know, we have lots of subdivisions. We have lots and lots of kids that are coming into schools. Our schools are growing. You know, we're just changing. And there are several people who have no idea about the history of Tucker Day, what it means, how it came to be. They're like, oh, yeah, that's that day where we just get to go and we get to have a fabulous time. And I know that's your goal, is that the kids get to go and have a fabulous time. But let's just walk through this a little bit.
Okay.
And then work our way up to how Tucker Day came to be.
Okay. Yeah, it was back in, Tucker was born in 2000. And in 2013, I was a deputy here in Meade County. And I was actually in my deer stand hunting because I'm a big avid hunter, and got a phone call from one of my fellow workers in dispatch. And he asked me if I knew who this person was, and I told him yes. So to back it up a little bit, I was divorced from my wife, my ex-wife, and we became a custody battle.
Right.
So I fought this custody battle to try to get my kids out of that home because there was allegations of neglect and abuse.
Sure.
So I fought for about 4 years. Actually, me and the family fought. Stephanie was really involved, my older sister. And we took on a fight that opened up a lot of doors for us and windows to see what was really going on. And I ended up getting 2 of my kids out of that situation.
Right.
And they left Tucker behind. And so I became every other week daddy.
Yeah.
And
that sucks.
Yeah, it was terrible because you ended up crying at Kroger parking lot. You ended up crying every Sunday. Yeah. And then on Friday, you were the happiest person ever.
Yeah. Because
so there's a lot of emotions about I actually wrote a song about it a long time ago. There was a lot of emotions by the grocery cart know, thing. So, you know,
I'm gonna get my guitar out. We're gonna have to put that at the campfire.
I actually wrote a couple songs about my family. My life's an open book, so I have nothing to hide.
Right.
And I never will. But you know, again, in 2013, which was Tucker's birthday, he just turned 13.
Right.
Wow.
And I was supposed to get him that Friday because it was my Friday to have him. Well, I was deer hunting, and at 6:59 in the morning, I was looking at a deer, as a matter of fact, and I was in a deer stand that myself and Tucker had built. And so it's a lot of memories there for us, and I usually take him deer hunting. Well, I got that phone call from dispatch, and they want to know if I knew this live-in boyfriend that the ex-wife had went with. And I said, yes, I do. And he says, well, he just made an anonymous call to his brother that he loved him, and he said they were going to send one of our deputies out to do a welfare check. So I stay on the phone with him.
Right.
And so I was on the phone the whole time.
Were you worried at that point? Like, did you have a
Absolutely.
feeling?
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right away.
Okay.
So that puts you in anxiety mode,
Right.
you know. And so I was on the phone with the dispatcher while he was on the phone with one of my fellow workers, sending him out to this house. Well, they sent him out to the house, and he couldn't make entry. Nobody answered the door, couldn't make entry. And I always remembered Tucker told me where they hid the key.
Oh,
And I had plans for Tucker and the rest of the kids before I got him for an escape route. In case something bad did happen at that house, I gave him an escape route to a house that was right down the block.
Yeah,
Right,
safety.
okay.
Safety.
Yes.
Yeah.
We had a plan. So I knew that something bad must have happened because the plan didn't work.
right.
Oh no.
So I had told the dispatcher where the key was. I can hear the deputy. He found the key. And as soon as he made entry, he said, Meade County, I have 3 down.
Oh no.
Right then and there, I knew. And I don't remember from my deer stand to the site where Tucker was killed.
Right.
So the live-in boyfriend had murdered Tucker and then murdered his mom and then took his own life. So later on, I ended up, I still have Danae and Julianne from their
Right.
mother.
Yeah.
And there's still a lot with that.
Sure.
But it's I'm really big on domestic violence and child abuse. So that's the big thing. I see the hurt and of families out here, and whether it be a car accident or whatever it might be, I don't want to ever let any family feel the hurt that I did that day.
Yeah.
Because that day changed my whole life. I know you hear that from everybody.
Right.
But if you put yourself outside the box and you really think of what you just witnessed outside your body, a human being feels every emotion that you could possibly feel, that to the max, up to the top.
Right.
So I felt the hurt, I felt the fear, I felt the scared, I felt the anger, and it's always so. Now I'm to a point in my life to where nothing really can reach to that emotional height anymore. But I want to make it better for other families.
Right.
And I don't want families to be in their house with kids that don't have money or don't have things. I want it to be known that that's what Tucker Days is about, to bring everybody together to be on the same level, to be on the same page.
Yeah.
We went one step further, and my sister, Stephanie, and previous state representative Frog Greer, Stephanie and him started this mission to pass a bill to go take on CPS, Child Protective Services. And I was involved throughout, but Stephanie was up there a lot with Jeff Greer.
Yeah.
And so we took about 3 or 4 years, and they ended up passing what's called the Tucker Act.
Yep.
Yep.
And so it's a new bill without the Commonwealth that basically protects kids, is what it does in a nutshell,
Yeah.
for their CPS investigation. So we did that, and I had some goals set. I wanted to start a foundation.
Sure.
And so after the funeral, there were so many people in this county.
Yeah.
It was so, there's no words to describe what this community did for me.
Yeah.
And it's time for me to pay them back.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And I have several ways of doing that. That's one is hopefully, they like me as being sheriff.
For sure.
But
Well, I think that shows up at the polls.
Yes.
Definitely.
And I want to give it all I got to the people that loved me and supported me. We took the extra money that was left over from Barry and Tucker, because there was, of course, we had no insurance, no life insurance on Tucker.
Yeah.
And there was nothing for the kid's mother. So what we did was we decided as a family to bury him together side by side because that's the right thing to do.
Yeah.
Sure.
You know, Tucker, I asked Tucker the 2 nights before he got killed, I had him at the house and I asked him if he wanted to stay at the house for a little bit longer just in case, because I knew there was something going on. And he said, no, I need to be there for my mom. And what's odd is later on, my wife Mona right now, we were cleaning out his room, which is, let me tell you what, that's the hardest thing you all wouldn't think. Just something simple as clothing to hang on to.
Smell.
It's tough. That is really hard. I still have totes, by the way, in a closet that I haven't touched.
Yeah.
But underneath his pillow, I'll never forget this. When she was cleaning, she had me come here to his bed, and she had found all his memories. Everything that we had that we did together, whether it was going to the zoo, the little penny that you wind up and crank, going to the mall, bouncing the bouncy balls. There were so many memories he put underneath that pillow, like he knew. He knew something bad was going to happen. And that's something that I'll always remember. I remember giving his last hug. You know, I remember all the emotional part of myself and Tucker.
Right.
And that's something that nobody will ever take away from me.
No.
Yeah, sure.
And I tell people that all the time. It's a Dr. Seuss quote, I believe. It says, basically, cherish every moment because it'll become a memory.
Right.
You know, and it's true. People need to spend time with family members and make memories.
Best photo you can have is when you blink your eyes.
That's right. That's
because
exactly right.
everything else can be destroyed, but what's in your brain, and that memory. You're absolutely right. And I'm sure going through that room probably had, you know, it's like that smell, right? When you're growing up, you have a smell. You remember like the basement, or you smell like clothing, or you smell, your home has a smell.
Absolutely.
And when you smell that, you're like, that memory just comes back up and trigger. I have that problem every day when I'm trying to remember somebody's name, but Earlene's pretty good at coaching me through that.
And I try to explain to people, you know, that it leaves a hole in your heart, and I have one, and nothing will ever fill that hole.
No.
Yeah.
But I always, know that it took me a while to have to learn this, and I try to extend it on to other people.
Yeah.
That you need to make, like Tucker, I make him a part of my life every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do I cry once a week, every once in a while, or twice a week, or 3? Absolutely.
Sure.
Absolutely. I'll be going back through Kroger or wherever and see a Captain Crunch box, and I'll have tears in my eyes.
Yeah.
But that's Tucker.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You know, let's keep him part of us.
That's right.
All the time, and that's what you got to do. You got to make it the good things, the things that you can, the memories.
Yeah.
You know, have the memories. So long. Right after that is when the judge executive and the magistrates had decided to make every second Saturday Tucker Day.
Very cool.
And the city council in
No,
the
every
city
second Saturday of
September.
September, yeah.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes. So, and the city council of Brandenburg also did the same thing. So they made a proclamation to make the second Saturday in September Tucker Day. So
awesome.
what we did was, as the board members, we threw what's called Tucker Day. Well, it's gotten so big because now we had to move it from downtown.
Is that where it started?
That's where it started.
So it started down
well,
the
actually,
river?
it started out, I think, with a family cookout down there. I believe is how it all got started. But we ended up having it down there. But it got to be so many thousands of people down there that we had to move it to the Meade County Fairgrounds.
Right.
And that seems to work a lot better, more feasible for us and for the community. It's not about us. It's for the community, the people coming to it to enjoy it.
Right.
Our vision was, and I cry every daggone year on Tucker Day.
Sure.
I sit back and look at that crowd, my wife and I, and we'll sit back and cry because you wouldn't believe what you're witnessing here. You're seeing thousands of kids with smiles and happy and playing, and they're all in the same playing field.
Yeah.
Right.
Parents are getting together. Yes.
Safe.
And that's what it's all about, you know, is working together as a community, treating everybody the same way.
Right.
Doesn't matter what your last name is. It doesn't how
right.
good you did in school. It doesn't matter. It's still God's creatures.
Yeah.
You know, and that's how we need to live.
And it's stress-free because, you know, like I love the fair. but we have to plan for the fair because there's a certain amount of cost per family involved. But there is no cost involved in this.
We want everything free. We are a nonprofit 501(c)(3). We have a gaming license also. And, you know, I can sit back and honestly say, you know, outside the fair, I believe this is the biggest event outside the fair. If you all show up at the fairgrounds, I'm telling you, this is the biggest event ever put on from a nonprofit standard here in Meade County. And again, it doesn't cost anybody anything.
And the businesses that come in to support to help make sure there's an activity everywhere you turn, I think is phenomenal. I've been taking the boys since they've been here to go to that, and obviously for good measure, you know, coming from their background as well. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough, and when you have the opportunity to help a kid out of a situation, I would tell anybody that I would do this again 5 times over.
That's right.
Exactly.
Just because of that, you know, what you experience, and thanks to that law being in place, there are hundreds of kids who have been protected. The only unfortunate thing that I think that comes from this is the fact that we don't have enough caseworkers for the amount of problems that we have in a state.
And I won't disagree with that, but you also have another umbrella off the caseworkers. Is CASA.
CASA. Yep, we just had them in here on the show.
Well, a couple weeks ago.
And then the family resource folks in the school system.
Unreal. I'm telling you, I have my new SRO that's came into the schools. He said, now he has kids in the schools.
Sure.
He came to me on his second day there. He come to me and I said, how you like your job? I want to make sure, you know, it was okay for him. He says, Phillip, I never thought that the school was so compassionate with those kids. He said, I didn't think it would ever. He said, the things that I witnessed that those teachers do at those schools, nobody knows that they do spend their own money and they are close, emotionally connected to the kids. He said it changed his whole perspective on the schools.
Well, let me just say, that has been my experience as well. And I've written about it several times because I grew up in Meade County schools until my freshman year of high school. And it's not that way at every school.
It's not.
It really isn't. Meade County is unique for that. I don't think they're probably the only schools across the country that do it. But they are phenomenal. They parented me. When I was growing up, the schools here, the teachers here, you know, they were very compassionate to my situation, and they met my needs in a very soft and gentle way so that I was able to receive it, never embarrassed or anything like that. One of the things I wanted to back up and ask you, before Phillip died, or Tucker died, so was CPS involved? Had you been making phone calls?
Yes, CPS was involved. There was an open case with Tucker and the other 2 kids. And what had happened was Julianne was actually, I was trying to get custody of Julianne in the middle of all this. And they were making a deal with me outside of the courts called an agreed order outside of court.
Now, who was making the deal?
Her lawyer.
Okay.
And they were trying to make a deal with me because there was allegations of abuse from the live-in boyfriend.
Right.
CPS was going to drop the case against him if I signed this agreed order to get sole custody of Julianne. I sat in that courtroom in that lobby, you all, crying.
Oh, wow.
I was, for 2.5 hours, I didn't know what to do.
I mean, because you would have her and she'd be safe with
Absolutely,
you.
but still there would be a predator.
Right.
Yeah.
An alleged predator.
Right.
But yes, there would be. And that was a tough call. That was a tough call, y'all.
Yeah, it is. I could only imagine what you must have been through. I think the biggest frustration, and I don't mean anything negative, because the caseworkers we have are phenomenal. Got to work with our Meade County department, amazing, and even the surrounding counties, because we have a lot of fosters in our church as well. And I will tell you that some of these kids, what they're going through, the caseloads for our caseworkers, there's more cases than there are enough caseworkers. And I just think that they get buried in all the details, and it's hard. That's why I'm so thankful we have CASA that are advocates outside of the individual caseworker. But the work you did with getting the bill with Mr. Greer and then getting that across, I don't care who our elected official is. I think anybody can get on board with this. But just the idea that we should have a better means to go and cause for review or investigation, and not just, oh, they're just talking, none of that good old boy system. That really put some measures in place to help, because I have a friend right now that's going through divorce, and he's in a good place. He's got both of his kids. But when they're not with you and they do go with the mom, you have no control over who she sees or whatever. And you don't have any control. You're out of control. So you have no idea what exposure your kids are going to get from whether it's your faith beliefs or your core values. And it gets very muddied. And honestly, unless there's a court document that says you have to come to some type of agreement, and you sit back with your hands tied unless you have now this Tucker law.
And it doesn't. The court agreement is only as good as the people who are meant to honor it.
That's right.
I know that one of the reasons that I stayed in a very abusive, horrible marriage for so long is because in the back of my mind, I thought, I don't want to be around him. Yeah. So I sure don't want to leave my kids around him when I'm not there. And I stayed there because in my brain, I thought, I'm going to protect them. And it just isn't,
Which also makes it harder on the kids.
Yeah, it does.
Sure
because the kids see this, they see the hurt, and they live this.
Right.
Yeah.
And it makes it, and you see a lot of the divorces and separation that involve kids.
Yeah.
What boils my blood is they use the kids as a pawn.
Yes.
They use them as leverage.
Oh, yeah.
No.
For sure.
And it's I always tell parents, because I'm like sometimes a psychiatrist at my job.
Yeah,
and
you
sheriff,
have to be.
But that's okay.
You have to be.
But I let the parents know, no matter what, don't talk bad about mom, dad. Don't.
That's right.
You don't talk bad about each other around them kids. Do not do it.
And don't use them as a tool to get your way. It's just horrible when they do that, because I tell my kids all the time, it's like, why can't we watch YouTube? I said, because once you see it, you can't unsee it, son.
That's right.
And I tell them all the time, I said, that's why I'm the parent and you're the child. I said, I'm not trying to be this over oppressive, but I want to control what you see. It's like the Andy Griffith show when he had the you remember the Jesse from the Beverly Hillbillies was on the Andy Griffith show, and Andy said, well, sir, you got to leave town because I got a whole lot of unscrambling to do in my kid's brain. You know what I mean? And that's true, because you just have to be watching what they do, and even in those situations where you have no control, you're helpless.
You just can't. You just
you can't. And what you do rely on, though, and again, I fall back to the people in this community. You can rely on them. You all.
Yeah.
You really can. There's some people that might disagree with you about something, but there's a difference between disagreeing and disrespecting.
That's right.
It's a huge difference. And, back to Tucker Day, to segue back into Tucker Day, the businesses here in this county, oh my gosh. It's like, like Ray's Ford, and, I'm not going to sit here and mention them all, but they've been in from day one.
Hot dogs on the grill.
We were there last year. Eddie and I went last year. And I
love Ray. They're a
just
great
amazing.
team.
And they were spread out all over the fairgrounds.
Yeah.
It was wonderful.
It's a no-brainer for some of their automatic. J.J. Scarborough in the jail. There's just automatically they're in.
Yeah.
It's the most. It helps. I wouldn't say fill that hole in my heart. It helps it. I can tell you that.
For sure.
To know how involved they are to making this community better, because the kids are our future. And, we want to treat them all the same.
I'm honored to know that Meade County has this. I mean, there's some other festivals and stuff that I think, okay, great, we're good for tourism. But you're right. This is probably one of the second largest ones. So whether you're from the Fort Knox area or you're from the Meade County area even our neighboring county, Harrison County comes across the border just for this.
For sure.
Now, I got it, Kentucky law, Indiana law, but everybody, this is like a subject that you just cannot get behind.
No.
And you lead that. You lead that every year. I don't care whether you're sheriff or not. Your name and his name will live on forever because of the work y'all have done to make sure that every kid is safe and protected.
And I'll be honest,
your family too.
I'll be honest with you, though. It's just because I am the face of it and all this, please do not give me the credit, because it's
I said
my
your family.
Yeah,
I said your family.
You did. It is my family. It's my sisters and my board members that I have.
Yeah.
But on top of it, you know, I fall back. We wouldn't be a board. We wouldn't have anybody if we didn't have the businesses.
Yeah.
Right.
We really would. And you're exactly right. You know, besides the fair, one day at the fair, this is one of the largest 501(c)(3) things that I've seen come out of this community.
Yeah.
And they just come. People come and y'all wouldn't believe the feedback we get from this.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And kids that come to me afterwards that need help.
Yeah.
You know, we make sure that anybody needs help, there's people out there that they can talk to.
That's right. That's right.
And it's huge.
So there's a couple of things I want to say to you. I'm aware that, you know, Tucker died, and that you were the resource officer at the time.
That's correct.
And so you were not at work for a couple of days.
I was not. I had the media kind of like, I wouldn't say hounding me. They just wanted information.
Well, yeah.
I get it.
But
there's a time.
but then you
There's a time.
But you came back pretty quick.
I came back actually before I even talked to the media or anything. That happened on a Friday. School was on Monday. Before Tucker was buried, my wife and I, the school bus pulled up like it usually does to pick Tucker up. So my wife and I got on the school. We followed Tucker's path that day. That was tough. But I knew I was the SRO. I knew I had to be tough for the other kids because they were saying they're going to quit school.
Right.
Oh,
They
no.
were showing up at my house.
I remember.
They were all coming to my house. These are my babies I helped raise.
Yeah.
They took it personal.
Yeah.
And he said,
You know,
he said, if I go back to school, you have to go back to school.
and that's exactly what I told them.
Yeah.
And so what I did was after my wife
You
and
led.
I did, and we left the bus. I gave the bus driver a hug, and we got in our vehicle and drove straight to Tucker's first class.
Wow.
And I went in there and stayed with them, and then followed through the rest of the evening.
Wow.
And you have to do that for no matter what happens. I know you need time to grieve and everything, but I also got to look at the future of the kids. The world just doesn't revolve around me. And it just
well,
They
doesn't.
were devastated. You know, his classmates,
Yes.
his friends,
Yeah.
they were devastated and afraid.
Yes.
You know, because of the way he died, it terrified them.
It did.
I mean, even though they knew who did it, and they knew that who did it was no longer, it terrified them.
Absolutely it did. And it would any child.
Absolutely.
So-
And so for you to do that, and I'm going to have to tell you, this, I just love you. I just respect you so much because it was a super human thing for you to be able to do that.
Sure.
I'm nobody special. I'm just a dad.
I know.
And that's just it. I'm a dad, and I'm a good husband. And
But you
there's
love
nothing special
you love
about
the
me.
children of Meade County.
I love this community,
And they're your
that's
family.
Just I take that personal.
And-
Yeah, I think it's good though. You know, this summer I got to go leave work to go be with one of my kids at a summer camp. You know what I mean? And I was hesitant about volunteering to do that, right? Because not a lot of dads get the time to go and do that. But the role model we play as fathers is super huge because there's not a lot where you've got the husband and wife and the father. And to your point, the Kroger weekly drop off is, you know, and I've seen that with many of my soldiers when I served. It's not easy. And then when you get torn and reassigned, it's terrible. But to be that leader and then have shown that example is huge. I think you not only showed an example for the children, but I think you showed an example for the parents and the family members. But, you know, I think it's what Matthew 4 says, blessed are those who mourn, they will be comforted. And you never get done mourning when you lose someone that close to you. I think that's always, you probably, like you said, you smelled clothing, or you got 2 bundles in the tubs in the closet, and then you find the memories underneath the pillow. So so we have the date. Tucker Day is on September 13th. And how can somebody get involved to help either make a donation or to support the cause to continue this into this year and then the following years to come?
Okay, well, and another thing is Tucker Day's from 11 to 4.
Right, got it.
Again, it'll be a packed house. There'll be everything out there, food, everything's free, music. There'll be all kinds of things out there for the kids and adults.
Yeah.
But I think we're going to have shirts out there. We'll be taking a donation for some shirts out there. But other than that, there is nothing out there.
Who's doing your shirts?
There's shirts out there for people can buy.
That's correct.
I have
well,
2 of them.
Yeah.
Who's doing your shirts?
It's within the board.
Yeah.
Everybody who's involved with the board.
Oh,
you
okay.
mean who does the shirts? I don't know.
Don't know which business.
Again, let me fall back on
I was
this.
free plug there. I was going to give them out.
That would be Stephanie, Shannon, or Missy.
Got it.
It would be Haley, Jason.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just like the face of this thing. So the true, I got to give it up to the true people that's got boots on the ground here.
Oh, don't worry. We're not going to let you take all the credit.
I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
Who was the first person that thought to do Tucker Day? How did this come to be?
I think we were all sitting around downtown Brandenburg, having a cookout. I think it was celebrating Tucker's birthday, if I remember right, one of his birthdays. And we brought it up at that family event.
Sure.
Right.
And then it became a family thing, and then it just kept
You just started brainstorming.
bigger and bigger and bigger.
Now, did y'all start an endowment too with this?
We did not. We did not. And, you know, there's a lot of things. The funeral home director, when I had, and I think it was like $6,000 or $8,000, something like that left over, he told me a lot of the checks and things were written for me to get away. You know, for me to leave and take a break with my family, my immediate family. And I said, that's somebody else's money. I can't do that. I can't do that.
Right.
And if you look way back, I had a interview with WOKY or something. I set my goals then. And I have met those goals besides the building that I want to build. And that's my goal, is to build this building. And I had one particular place that actually donated, and I've told you all this before, they donated $100,000 to the foundation, and I still have that to build this building. Of course, we need some land here in the city, or
good luck with that.
Yeah, I just need something small, a building or something. I want to create this safe center, this community for kids to have a place to come to, put them on the same level, no matter how much money they got.
Right.
And if they need somebody to talk to, have a staff with social workers or something like that to
So if you're estate planning, and before you give it to the school this time, think about giving it to Tucker Day Association.
Exactly.
So what are you going to do with the building?
That's what I'm going to do. And kids are going to come over. You know how gym dandies used to be, kids after school, things like that.
Right.
I want something like that with games and different things in that. But I want to make it self-sustained too. I maybe have food in there, hot dog or something, and have them like maybe work with the youth service center, Nikki and all them at the schools.
Sure.
And maybe have coupons where, you know, the low people that doesn't have, you know, the people that doesn't have low income, to have coupons and let them come eat free.
Yeah.
Let them live. Let them
learn how to. That would be like your farmers market when the kids from Doe Valley had little coupons to go buy, and then they had to count their money and stuff too.
And just put everybody on the same level. Have them a safe place, you know, instead of, when I was school resource officer, I will tell you this. When I was letting the kids out, I noticed from school that at least 60 to 80 kids a day would be walking down the street, down the High Street, going down towards the BP and stuff. Well, that scares me half to death, because I knew at the time that what was hanging out down there at the food court, and I didn't like it. So, you know, I want to get them to turn the other way.
Right.
That's what I want to do. I want to get them to turn the other way.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
So it's a mission, and I won't stop.
I think it's a great mission.
I like that.
I think you could probably get a lot of the churches on board, because we've often talked about that even with the youth and stuff. There's no place for the youth to hang out. And I would even say this applies to all of our kids that are even 18.
Absolutely.
Because, you know, they still have to live at home. And if they didn't have a transition plan after high school, it becomes very, you know, where do I go?
Right.
Just want to change kids' lives for the better, and it also extends it out to the family.
Yes.
Because anytime a child or anytime anybody makes a decision in life, a bad decision, it doesn't just affect them, it affects the whole family unit.
Yes.
And people forget that.
People forget that
Yes.
often.
I think the worst part of being in the newspaper business is we see everybody who passes in Meade County. And we've seen some young ones this year. And
some of those obituaries are really hard to edit when they come through.
I know, because we're usually out there unfortunately on the scenes, and it's the worst feeling that any police officer that says police officer or deputy that says they don't take it home with them, they're just telling you that, I guess, to make themselves feel better.
Yeah.
Because
You carry
take it home with you.
You do.
You take it home with you. Ask our wives.
Yeah, you can't unlive that or unsee it.
Or ask their husbands, whoever it may be at home, their significant other. It's just we're humans.
Yeah.
We're all humans. I have the same feelings you all have.
Sure. Right.
So just a badge and gun's not going to stop, me being one of God's creatures here on earth.
No, and we do and are grateful to all who serve both in our communities and in uniform everywhere. So I think that you have given a long life of service, and I think this is another service that most people don't get to see from you and others that are out there serving in the community for this cause. Stephanie, Shannon, and the many others on the board, and the volunteers. Thank you all to all the volunteers that come out there to make this such a successful event every year. And we want to help keep growing it as with you in the best way that we can.
And speaking of volunteers, if you're interested in volunteering, I always need a bunch of people volunteer.
Oh yeah. If you're just a runner.
Oh well, and also have, our government system, our judicial system. We have some kids that might make the wrong decisions in life, and they need to put community service in.
Yeah.
So that's the day I take those kids under my wing.
Very good.
And they spend time with me out at Tucker Day, volunteering their time. I keep track of their time. I keep track of them, and it works out really good. And then we become a better person.
Right.
They absolutely, if they can't come out of that situation seeing themselves so that they don't become and end the cycle, that would be,
It's huge. A volunteer. So to volunteer, and if anybody has any or need to know any information about Tucker Day, it's going to be you contact Stephanie at 270-945-3525, or you can contact Shannon. It's 945-6479. I hope I got that right, Shannon. But anyways, you can contact Stephanie or Shannon, and we'll have a volunteer booth out there because we have to take shifts because it is really, really busy. And here's at the end of this day, we call it the best day ever because it's themed as SpongeBob, and that's what it's themed because of Tucker.
Yeah. Oh, cool.
And to go one step further, if you go out to New Highland Church burial site out there, the cemetery, you can't miss Tucker's gravestone. It is a life-size SpongeBob.
Right.
That's right.
So, because that's what he was into. So we themed it for the SpongeBob.
So here's what I'm going to say. We have had several nonprofits on our show and have visited with them and things like that. Some of the ones that have been the most powerful are the ones who faced a situation just as hurtful as what you've gone through, and they used that and turned it into something good. You have two choices. When you have something like this happen, you've got two choices. You can either look for the good. What can I do to make the world a better place?
Yeah.
How can I serve people? Or you can fall apart. It's okay to fall apart for a little while, but then you got to pull yourself back together and you've got to move forward.
That's exactly
Some
right.
people choose to never move forward, and you have. Your family, you guys have been a wonderful example of what we can do when we're faced in a situation like this. And
Well, you give that credit to the good Lord above.
I was about
And
to
the
say,
strength.
there's so many verses that I could quote right now.
And my family,
Yeah.
my wife, they kept me supported and
Sure.
still do.
Yeah.
And they carry the torch. The torch has never gone out.
no.
That's
and
awesome.
I love in each and every one of them.
Well, and
I really do.
you've got a new generation of Wimpees coming up
I do.
who are going to do that, and they're going to pass it.
Yes.
Long after you and I are
That's right.
gone to glory.
That's right.
Other people are still going to be celebrating Tucker Day.
Yep. So if there was such thing as Phillip Wimpee legacy, what I would want is everybody treat everybody the same. We are all God's creatures. No matter whether you got money or not, these are innocent kids
Yep.
that need to be put on the same level and have the same fun. And just because you don't have money, you don't wear the nice clothes, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
You still get the same smile.
Well, and some of the kids that do wear the nice clothes and all that stuff, they're being hurt the exact same
That's
way.
exactly
They are.
right.
And so we're all the same.
Yes, that's right. And, that's something that's really important to me. And that's why we said, as sheriff, it doesn't matter what your last name is is in this county. I'm going to treat everybody the same. Still love them.
Right.
You know, there's no such thing as bad kids. Kids do bad things. That's my theory in life. That's how I dealt with kids when I was SRO, and that's how I carry it on.
No, I think that's. I could go into so many reasons why that's a true statement. Kids didn't just imagine that. It's learned in a lot of ways. The bad things are taught. They're not something that they just were born and had a desire to do bad. They got that from the leadership in their household. So, Philip, I appreciate you and what you do for our community, not just because of this incident, but because of the interest in caring for all of our community. To me, your family and then putting this together in loving memory of Tucker is tremendous. But it's not just for Tucker. It's to make sure that no other family has to experience
That's exactly
the same thing.
Right.
And I think that dedication and the way you pull in the community to do that is phenomenal. I know that if you want to get involved for a volunteer, you just call Stephanie at 270-945-3525, and then Shannon is going to be 270-945-6479. You can also go to One Tucker at a Time on Facebook.
Facebook page.
Yeah, if you go there, maybe you don't want to volunteer, but you got your checkbook.
That's right.
I would say write a check.
We'll take that.
Yeah, write a check and make a donation. Bring your checkbook with you. Make a donation at the event, and let them build this foundation so that they can continue to grow its work. And maybe maybe it's just not a Meade County. Maybe it is the new fancy farm. Maybe we get every kid in the state to come here because it's awesome. Not the politicians though.
That's right.
And
Yeah,
no.
Thanks for tossing that in.
No, we'll get all the advocates, but you know how everybody wants to go, and it's a big publicized event. I think it would be amazing if we could just publicize this.
Well, thank you all. Thank you for the messenger to publicizing this.
Absolutely.
Put it in the newspaper. All the pictures you all have taken in the past.
Well,
Appreciate
we're
it.
going to have this podcast, and then we'll write about it. But my parting words are going to be this. I know it's not about you. I get that. But lots of times when we think of Phillip Wimpee, you can toss off any name that's well known here in Meade County, and there's usually a word that is associated with that.
Besides sheriff.
When Phillip Wimpee's name is shared, whether it's sheriff or not, just Phillip Wimpee, the word that is always follows that is safe.
Yeah.
You keep people safe.
Good point.
You keep Meade County safe.
And I love doing that.
I know you do. I know you do. And we can feel it. And so, that's the legacy that you're leaving. You're going to leave the legacy of Tucker's story.
I just love Meade County. Tucker did. This is where my family is, and I love the people in this community. I just really do. I can't help it. It's just in my blood.
Well, we don't want you to help it. We want you to love us.
Yeah, that's right. Keep
and
loving.
I've got the passion. I've got the fire and the passion.
All right.
Yeah. Well, Earlene, I love these. Every week we've had nonprofits coming in here, and it's probably one of my goals was to lift up our nonprofits, because without them, if we depended on the government, my Lord, we wouldn't have the services we have today. But it's organizations like yours, the CASA, and the many others that we continue to highlight throughout the community. Yeah,
all of those.
All of those that are uplifting and doing the work behind the scenes that some people never even knew about.
Right.
And it's because of the messenger, recognizing the people in this community, that makes a difference. So we appreciate you all.
Well, thank you. Earlene?
Man.
I know.
Some of these are wrenching. That's just a little wrenching for me.
Yeah, I know.
But, hey, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for watching our show. Thanks for being a part of this and doing life with all of us.
Yeah.
Pick up your copy.
I love that. Doing life with Earlene and Steve.
That's right.
I love it.
And we all love you.
Thank you.
And thank you. And you guys pick up your copy of the Meade County Messenger. Every single page, it's Meade County, Meade County, Meade County. Whether it's a sport or something to do with the school or something to do with an organization, there's a big write-up about what's going on with Otter Creek for people who want to know about that. So pick it up, read it, call me. Tell me what you think of it.
That's right.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
You guys have a great day. We'll see you soon. See you at Tucker Days.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
September 13th, 11
Eddie
to
and
4.
I will be there.
Come see me. Come see me there. You'll see me walking around with a big smile or maybe tears in my eyes, but it's tears of joy.
Well, we'll just give you a big old bear hug.
Yeah.
We'll give you a big old bear
We'll
hug.
be there.
Bear.
Bear.